Hey everybody, Pastor Vern with your daily update for, let's see here, September 15th, 2020. It's a Tuesday. As we continue on in our work to try to understand the Bible a little better, to continue our contact in the days of COVID, and to share with greater knowledge. And one of the reasons we're doing these for the greater knowledge is there's a lot of us who have not been able to attend worship or Bible studies in the way that we would like. And so as we go through some of these things in the books of the Bible, maybe it gives you a little direction to go, a little insight for your personal time of study or reading. I hope you're doing some of that. I think it's very comforting to do that on a regular basis. Today we're going to talk about First Timothy. There's two books of Timothy. There's two letters written to them, to Timothy and one to Titus, and there's some comparison to these because they are called the pastoral epistles, because really where we talked about these earlier ones going to the churches for help them with doctrine, with direction, and with practice. Now we're having Paul is writing to Timothy and Titus about their ministries and about how they should minister to the churches as they travel around. Paul is unable to travel. He's in prison. And actually, Paul is coming close to the time where he is going to be martyred for his faith. He only has a short time left, and he's trying to get some of these out. First Timothy has some features that I think that you would want to pay certain attention to if you're going to be reading in here. It's 6 chapters long. It's not particularly long. And it has to do with a lot of sound doctrine to start with. The very first part of his epistle, the written to Timothy, it talks about the sound doctrine of the church, making sure that we don't have false teachers and we don't have people who are inventing doctrine for their own gain. Then it talks a little bit about the testimony of faith, on how that is kind of how that is such an important part of spreading the gospel. And it talks a little bit, I think, let's see here, in chapter 2, there's instructions for Christian worship. And confirmation kids and I have been going over that here the last couple of weeks. And it's something that is kind of interesting because it sets this standard, this beginning, this place where we have developed our worship scenarios out of, our liturgies, our processes. And Paul passes this on as a orderly fashion so that everyone who is a part of the faith could feel included, because there's an order to it. There's a process in which we all can share in. It moves into later the approval of the master, how Christ would approve of these different ministries and so on. And then he kind of wraps up First Timothy with the coming of Christ in the day of rewards, is kind of the way he puts it. He talks about a little bit about when Christ will come again and what that will kind of look like and what that means to us as the body of Christ. So that's kind of a little synopsis of the book of Timothy, First Timothy. Tomorrow we'll take a little look at Second Timothy. A lot of it's on a very, very much a similar vein, but it is has some additions to it. Timothy was a young man who was starting out in ministry, and he was being guided by the old hand, the man who had developed how a lot of ministry was working. So this is really the passing of wisdom and practicality and experience on to the next generation. All right, y'all take good care of yourselves, watch out for others the best you can, and stay safe. We'll see you later.